Hey there, everybody. Professor Cloud here, back with Alan Wake, the Nightmare Edition. In the previous chapter, or episode, I guess is what they're more called, we met up with who we think kidnapped Alice. We met up with him in Lover's Peak. That did not go well. Still don't know where he has gotten himself off to, other than he wants us to meet him at the mining settlement at some point the following day. But we did make our way through the national forest. We obviously got attacked a lot. We ended up killing a number of individuals with chainsaws. Received a new weapon in the hunting rifle. Just all kinds of wonderful shadow horror based stuff. But we made it back to the cabin. We fought off a whole bunch of birds to protect our buddy and Barry, and that's where we left off. So let's go ahead and pick up from there and start in with episode 3 of Alan Wake Remastered, Nightmare Difficulty.
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page. So dark.
I have found only a few scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI?
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this, most of this stuff takes place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane. Now, some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Now I'm just following along. I'll get an opportunity
It
to
gets better. A local
explore
girl,
a little bit
Barbara
later.
Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook store. The Scratchin' Hag. Comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Yeah, so that was the lady that we met in the diner right before he got the supposed keys.
Well, mister, this here's Rose's trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
We're just here to talk to her, pal.
Barry is a little loud and obnoxious. I love him, but he's a little loud and obnoxious. Okay. Just looking.
Welcome to... Oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh. Oh yes. Yes. Please, come in.
Hey, this is really good. Rose,
Yes,
my manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry. She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al, what's... Oh...
Barry! What? What?
Don't take drinks from strangers.
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
I can't tell reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary editor to help me. She's an old woman in a funeral dress. I call her Barbara Jagger. She's very strict. I'm writing faster and faster. My manuscript is being heavily revised. The edits are getting very aggressive, and each day there's less of me and more of her. I hate it, but I know she's right. She promises me I can save Alice this way. She knows more of this than I do. About the complex incantation I'm attempting. About this place. She's worked with another writer under similar circumstances, Thomas Zane. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Okay.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free. Milk and sugar on the counter there. Would you like to hear today's specials? Thank you. A nice day. Come back soon.
Right. Head out.
My gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
Manuscript.
The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again.
So these are ones we haven't listened to, why they have question marks. And then there's a nightmare page. All right, 3 nightmare pages. That's the other side of the boat. There's no. Other than there's music coming from that building. Oh, hold on.
I just stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, the weather's getting heavy. Nights like this make me especially glad I'm here talking to you and not home in bed. Once the weather takes a turn like this, I can't sleep at all. It's all tangled bed sheets and dark thoughts, punctuated by the occasional plunge into nightmare. Is it just me? Well, perhaps it is. But I hope I can make the night a little bit easier to get through. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hey, Pat, it's Walt Snyder.
What's on your mind, Walt?
Well, I am the way you are, but, well, I can't sleep either, you know? I just been staring out the window here, trying to make sense of it all, but, I ain't been drinking either, you know?
Well, you sound like a man with a problem, Walt.
I had argument with Danny, Danny, and, then I got in trouble with the law, and, I'm just, well...
I heard something like that, Walt.
Yeah, well, he's, Danny's my best friend, and, they let me out on bail today, and now I'm just alone here at the window, waiting. Man, and there's something in the air tonight, man.
I was just outside looking up at the sky above our broadcast tower thinking the same thing. What are you waiting for, Walt?
I don't know. Something's gonna happen. I think I better go.
Well, Walt, maybe...
No, thanks, Pat.
Well, good luck to you, Walt. Hang in there. Let's take a little break, folks. This weather's really something else, huh?
How can I be sure?
Definitely a very deep fog around the area. There's no doubts about that. Eye out for manuscript pages. These radios. Canned pyramids, although I don't think I'll find any canned pyramids simply because I don't have a gun to be able to break them, shoot them. Oh. Guy who let us in. Careful, I don't want to trigger any cutscene without finding everything. We've looked everywhere. Safe to forward.
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Spillane!
Thankfully, he's a horrible shot.
What are? I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake! Come on! Take it easy!
Get after him! Don't let him get away! Move it! Move it! Move it! I'll have your chance if you let him get away!
Following the yellow dot up in the top. Also trying to not lose my stamina. See if I can get under the bridge.
There! Freeze! Okay, men, keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here. This way!
Oh, damn.
Man out! Move it! Go there! Don't move! I'm this way! Keep an eye out!
Using the rocks as cover.
God damn it! Where did he go? Slip away! Keep an eye out!
There's a manuscript page.
He's gone! Come on, guys! We need to head him off!
Alright, good. Dark presence.
For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stirred it from the deep sleep the poet had sunk it back to in the end. When it sensed the writer on the ferry, it opened its eyes.
How were the rock stars involved? I don't remember them having anything to do with the dark presence. Okay. Oh boy. That's not good. And that's even worse. There is a manuscript page down here. Rose visited by the dark presence.
Rose didn't know how the strange old lady got in her trailer, and she looked wrong somehow. The woman showed her teeth in an approximation of a smile and traced a finger down Rose's cheek. "Pretty girl," she said. Rose felt as if she was falling asleep, but her knees didn't buckle. The crone spoke in a whisper, her words ice cold and dark in Rose's ear.
Back to the police car.
Come in, Agent Nightingale. This is Sheriff Breaker. Over.
Nightingale, over.
What on earth is going on? My deputies tell me you fired at Wake and he didn't have a gun. You almost hit a civilian instead. Over.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase. I don't have time for this.
Well, make the time. You can't just go shooting at people in my town. Over.
I'm a federal agent pursuing a fugitive. You want to discuss my methods, Sheriff? Make an appointment. Over.
You stay right where you are, Agent Nightingale. I'm on my way. Out.
The funny thing about this is, anyone who knows
advised that the suspect may be armed. Approach with caution. James out.
And knows anything about law enforcement, FBI agents don't come flying in shooting, nor do they do so without some level of explanation.
Search the area. Stay sharp.
Of course, we haven't been given any of that.
This way. Over here.
There's some crazy stuff going on down there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
Wait, are you seriously telling me that geek writer just took out my deputies? Are you kidding? I mean, have you seen this guy? He wears a tweed jacket. Over.
He's the guy we're chasing. If it's not him, who then? Bigfoot? Over.
I don't know yet, but I'm not in the habit of jumping to conclusions. That tends to come back and bite you in the ass. Out.
I would have used a more apt, hey, you know, as in someone who is assuming you're making an ass out of you and me, but, you know. Jumping to conclusions works well, too. Uh-oh. Stay out of the... Apparently the birds have now all of a sudden become my friends. That's the end of the chopper. That is for sure. Alright, we made our way to a watchtower. Down here, like it. There's where the chopper went down. That's the gas station. This one.
I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
Yep. Guess that's where we're gonna head next.
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over.
Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. But anyway, hey, what do you do? Come on.
Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over. Go ahead, Mulligan. Over. We got Wheeler and Rose here. Wheeler's drunk or hopped up on something. Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of Otis Scotch about him, you know what I mean. Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. Well, whatever. Anyway, Rose is just being plain weird here. You better better get Doc in to take a look at both. Over. Gotcha. You better get them here quickly. The Fed's gonna want to interview Wheeler. Over. Oh yeah, I bet he does. Looks like they have a lot in common. Mulligan out.
Right. Sure we're not missing anything. Everything looks good. Alright, let's head toward radio station.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine.
Well, that's right. We're still trying to get to the coal mine. We can meet up with the kidnapper.
Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light. There was no power to the searchlight.
Can't believe we haven't gotten another manuscript page. Seems to be a fairly long gap. But, I mean, I have been looking everywhere, so. Ah. Have a flashlight. I didn't actually have to second one, but I did anyway. All right. Fence we go.
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
Yep.
One, come in. Over. Team 1, this is Sheriff Breaker. Report. Over. Team 2, come in. I need a report. Over. Come on, guys. Talk to me. Come in, please. Over.
Yep, Sheriff, I'm sorry to say, but everyone's gone. As I've said before, the manuscript pages do tend to stand out, so they should be hard to. do like I've done before and... Oh, never mind. Don't need to.
And here's another call. You're on KBF-FM with Pat Maine.
It's Milt Peabody, Pat.
What's on your mind, Milt?
Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there.
Well, that's just up the road from me, too. What's going on, do you know?
I don't know, but there's a bunch of police cars there, lots of sirens, a helicopter buzzing around, and I think I heard some gunshots.
Gunshots?
Yes, sir, like from a pistol. So can you find out what's going on? Because it's just next door and they're popping off guns there.
They're still shooting?
No, it was maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. It sounds serious, Pat. I'm telling you, it don't sound like no party.
I'm certainly going to give the station a call, Milt.
Okay.
You'll hear it here as soon as I hear from them.
Okay, thanks.
Alright. I don't know what the shirt or jacket or whatever that is doing there. I'm gonna look around real quick. Okay. Alright, so go this way. Okay, there's a manuscript page over there on the right.
Touched by the dark presence, Rose was lost in a dreamland where everything was drawn in black and gray crayons. The old lady had promised her that all her wishes would come true. She would be Alan Wake's muse. She was smiling so hard it hurt her face. She crushed a bottle full of sleeping pills into the coffee. Deep down inside, she was screaming in terror.
Okay. Down to 7. Fortunately, they're faster than I am. I want to make sure I'm full up. Fortunately, I have been hit. Can't afford to get hit again. Or at least not more than twice. And I thought I just saw... Alright, maybe I'm making it up. I thought I saw a yellow arrow. No. Okay. Okay.
I hope Maine could lend me a car to get to the coal mine.
What do you have for us?
That's just a lot.
Well...
They'll have to try to sort themselves out. I'm sorry, but
My granddaddy settled in Bright Falls in 1911.
Well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in, folks. I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Come on in, Mr. Wake. Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown. You back away from me. Don't hurt it.
Whoa. Everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him.
Judas Priest!
What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
Great, we're on the run again.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book The Sudden Stop. It was probably good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine where I was going. I'd have to lose the cops and find my own way to the mine.
Oh, there's a manuscript page right here.
Nightingale stared through the broken studio window into the dark woods. He turned around, started to walk out, but Maine grabbed his arm. "Young man, you almost shot me. You don't shoot off rounds at people like that. What's the matter with you?" Nightingale shook his arm free, marched out. His cheeks burned with rage and humiliation.
We still have no clue what is going on with him. Alright, so now we've got flares. There's a generator. I thought I could possibly get there before getting attacked, but obviously that was definitely not the case. Alright, now where am I going? I'm heading that way. I guess up that direction. Okay, I'm going this way then. Something over there. Okay, here we go. We got another light here. Okay.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
I'm really, really glad that I decided to come back here to pick up the extra ammo. Alright, I've cleared this building. Not clear the building. Unfortunately, I don't even know where it is I'm supposed to be going. Oh, there's another building.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank, the look in his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan Wake? What was this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
That's usually an indication of somebody who's gone rogue. Alright, so we got revolver, shotgun, and batteries.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. It keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me.
And there's another manuscript page. And like an arrow. Or something. Wake attacked by a possessed.
The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again.
There's definitely... Okay, here we go, yeah. Oh, that was the building I was just looking at. I thought it was one of the buildings we had already been to, but definitely not. Alright, so we're full up on revolver. More shotgun. Flare gun. Wow, okay, we got all kinds of stuff going on here now. I gotta be careful that I don't waste all of those.
I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Well, I just switched to flares. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that the shotgun is loaded. I remember this section, and I also remember not enjoying it very much, but does not require any
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path.
That was lucky as hell. Oh, that's not definitely not good. Okay, here's a manuscript page.
I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door. True to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me.
And now I don't know where we are in the storyline. That's where we need to go. But I also believe that there is something here. Yep. Another manuscript page. This is the first of the nightmare pages.
Even after all this time, hearing the Night Springs theme caused a surge of conflicting emotions in me. It had been my first real writing gig. Barry had known a guy who knew a guy, and suddenly I'd been a semi-regular writer on the show. I'd always been ashamed of the job. Felt it was trash. I'd wanted to be an artist, a novelist. I'd been naive back then. It had taken a long time to learn to be proud of the work.
That's interesting. I didn't know that particular tie-in. Let's get up out of here.
As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story, certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Well, we got ourselves a new flashlight. New, stronger flashlight. Oh no. Oh, hold on. I didn't realize there was... I'm glad I actually stopped. There was more stuff here.
Did you call 911?
All right. See, what is frustrating is that the dodge moves actually take more stamina than straight up sprinting. I did 2 dodge moves. Whew. Not doing too bad. In light, you can hurt them. Yep. Right, so not going out that door. I'm not turn on the radio. No, the radio doesn't have any juice, it doesn't look like.
We take the facts of our existence for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a family occasion. Journalist Alvin Derleth's trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Derleth, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition. But you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Could I really?
Of course, Mr. Derleth.
Well, I guess that's the least I... What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What did you...
Oh, Mr. Derleth, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glory. Shh, darling, be calm. Shh.
Alvin Derleth learned a harsh lesson. such quests always bear fruit. Night Springs.
Very alien and H.P. Lovecraftish.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Okay. I remember what's coming here. And it is major pain. But it's got to be done, so trying to think of what how I want to start. I think we go with the flashbangs. What happens? We may have to do this section more than once. That's the problem. It's almost impossible to know where they're coming from. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's start with this instead. Okay, I think that is it, because once you get rid of the tractor, I think that that's the end of it. Yeah, it was starting with the flare gun. That made the difference. on batteries. Another one over here. Yep. Okay. I don't think I can get up here. Or at least I don't think I'm supposed to get up there. I'll put it that way. Okay. Let's see. I still have 2 flash grenades. Actually, 2 flashbangs. Yeah, let's stick with flares for now. A truck.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now. Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
And unfortunately, they took all of our weapons away. Which, to me, does not make sense. Again, it was the one thing that I always complained about with this game. Because in reality, how do you get into a truck with all that we had? I mean, I was full up on everything. And then end up with
Even
nothing.
during daytime, I was being stalked. The bridge must have collapsed only moments after I'd crossed it.
I'd actually never been down to that bridge, so I had never actually heard that line before. There are any manuscript pages out here, they're going to be a lot harder to find.
Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to believe that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the Dark Presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity.
Alright, I'm going to get out here for no other reason than to switch vehicles. Before we get into the car, do a quick... Well, I can't go any further anyhow. Road's blocked off. And another bridge is out. Yeah, so there's, I learned in my last playthrough on normal difficulty that there's actually a thermos sitting in this chair. Now, obviously, I've already grabbed it, but for anyone who's watching and wants to play the game later, remember that. It is one of the cooler locations for one of the thermoses. Go up those stairs, but I can also stay out here too. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. It all comes back to the road, so that's really all that matters. We have access to another vehicle.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Right? Nope. Good. Well, you know what? Let's double check something. I just want to make sure there's not something back at the other end of the bridge. I don't remember there being anything, but I just want to double check. Nope. We're good. You actually can walk up that tree. It's just a little touchy. Across the bridge. Grandmother's house we go. Oops. About that. Even though I'm having a better time playing the game with controller, driving the vehicle with controller is not necessarily all that much easier. Especially considering the driving controls are not fantastic, no matter what type of means you're using. Go up in here. Almost to the coal mine. Another radio.
Welcome back to KBF-FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Well, see, to me, that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever, and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or, heck, childish even? There's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything, but what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Okay.
Now, well, I don't disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel, what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
Gunshots will do that. At least I've heard. Never been shot at, thankfully. And would, kind of prefer to keep it that way. Alright, so that was really nothing than to get the additional radio. Now we will head to the coal mine. That's coal. Never been down here. Oh. Okay, hold on. Oops. All of this goes to the same place, but I'm pretty sure there's a good reason for me to come in from up top. Yep.
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Okay. So now we know the name of supposed kidnapper. I should be able to turn around here. Head down. I wonder if they would let me drive off the cliff.
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
While there were some earlier residents in the area, the true genesis of the town of Bright Falls came with the founding of the Bright Falls Mining Company and the opening of the Bright Falls Coal Mine in 1878. Although the work was hard and dangerous, many immigrants, Germans, Poles, Italians, Finns, and Swedes, among others, worked the mines. Oh, there's a thermos that apparently I missed. There's a lot more that I've missed. There's 100 total in the game. I don't think I've found more than maybe 50. While lucrative at first, the mining steadily declined in the 20th century. The seams were rich but hard to get at, and the volcanic activity in the area made the mine shafts particularly dangerous. So it's now been turned into a museum. There's another manuscript page.
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
In 1970, a volcanic eruption below Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, caused most of the deep mining tunnels to collapse or flood. 32 miners lost their lives in the calamity, and all mining around Bright Falls came to a final stop. Now many of the remaining buildings are protected as historical landmarks.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around by
You
you.
want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello? Ah! I'm gonna kill him.
I had to get to Mirror Peak. It was close. Maybe closer than ever before.
Stuff to pick up over there. Player. Ah. Oh. Oh, I do still have the weapons. Oh, okay. There's a lot of little flashing... Oh, crap! I didn't want to drop down that far yet.
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, She made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse.
I already have the revolver. Let's restock up on ammo. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, got more flashbangs. I'm gonna sit here and wait for my battery to charge so that I don't have to waste a... I mean, I've got a lot of batteries, don't get me wrong, but I also don't want to waste them if I don't have to. That's ladder. Have to go. I think. That doesn't look good. Yeah, I have to get to the other end to turn off the electricity so that I can go up that grate into the building. There are going to be enemies. Let me go to flashbangs. I do not have any flare gun ammo. Make sure I've got that equipped. Alright.
The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
Okay. Alright, so that got us there in one piece. Don't know if we're going to have it on the way back, though. Okay, I think we actually just got flash or flare gun ammo. And okay, there we go. Okay. I think we're actually good. Yeah, I think we're actually okay. That's actually the first time I've ever used that strat. In previous runs, I have not used the vehicle at all. So I'm glad it works quite that well. Obviously, you know, it runs out of durability at a point, as you would expect. I think that was a good use of a flash grenade. Okay, so one of the exploding tanks didn't explode. That one. I thought I hit it. I guess not. Where's the ladder? There's another chair. Another manuscript page. I think we should have been allowed to sit in the chairs.
Some of the Taken retained echoes of their former selves, but these were just the nerve twitches of a dead thing. Nothing remained but a shell covered and filled with darkness. In most cases, these puppets were enough for the purposes of the dark presence. But for anything more elaborate, as with the writer, it was different. It needed his mind. And so rather than taking him over completely, it merely touched him.
Not creepy at all. That. Okay. Okay, that opens that. Ah, good, more flash
There was
grenades.
no way the flashbang grenades were standard power company equipment.
Let's... Before we go that way, make sure there's nothing down this end. I don't think. And again, we're back at night, so it shouldn't be a problem seeing the manuscript pages. Oops. I don't know what just happened. Man, they take a long time doing. Oh, that's very annoying. That one took 4. First one of those I've had. They're getting more difficult, or they are getting, or I'm getting worse my shots. By the way, both things could be true at the same time. Fact.
I stared through the bars of the jail cell. Barry stood behind me, swaying on his feet, looking as ill as I felt. Agent Nightingale stood on the other side of the bars with Sheriff Breaker. Nightingale had a stack of manuscript pages in his hand. He seemed unhinged as he gloated. "Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent."
What? That's actually, I think, later this episode. I would think it would be pretty obvious that that's where we're trying to get to. And we got ourselves... Right, there we go. Flashbang, flare gun ammo. Oh, that's not what I wanted. No, that was a waste of a flare gun. Crap. Can't let those kinds of things happen. Something else for anyone who eventually play the game. If you go down to the end of this, there is a thermos right there at the end. This game is not a platformer, so it is not easy to get. I think when I played the game last and was really trying to collect as much as I could, I think I fell off, I don't know, 5 or 6 times and ended up in a laughing heap because of how bad it was when I was doing it. Shotgun ammo.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
Yeah. Good. Pump action shotgun. They want me to go this way. Flare gun ammo, shotgun, flash grenade, all good stuff. Oh, come on! Whew. Oh boy. Okay, that was rough. Matter of fact, it was rougher than I remember it. I didn't remember there being that many.
dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach. Was it going for Alice?
The graveyard shift may cause cancer.
This guy's taking after Stucky, not Stucky, the guy back at the Ranger. Okay, that could have gone better. It could have gone a crap ton worse. And I don't think I wasted too much ammo. I may have wasted a few flares, but actually not going to worry about that too much. Yep. I don't trust anything that doesn't move.
The place was dead, a ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
There is a manuscript page. And this is our second nightmare one.
I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page in front of my eyes and read it. In it, I lifted the page.
Okay, you don't need to read that. Only need one more. In there. Whoa. Yeah, okay, that's all very, very creepy. Apparently we can't get in there, and it doesn't look like there's any reason for us to get.
Things were never as simple in real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight, something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling and I had no plan.
Out of curiosity here. All right, so we've still got these two that we haven't listened to. This one we haven't listened to. This one. And we've got one that we haven't found that's a nightmare one. If for whatever reason we still haven't found the others we haven't listened to, I'll make sure to listen to them at the end of the episode. Gray Peak Gorge. Originally founded in 1928, the Gray Peak Gorge mining town was one of the permanent settlements the Bright Falls Mining Company built for its workers. The nearby graveyard is a testament to the dangers the miners faced on a daily basis. Most of the men who lost their lives over the years here were buried there, a grim reminder to be careful for those who remained. Gray Peak Gorge was abandoned almost overnight when the Bright Falls Mining Company closed its doors in 1970. I mean, it's very standard. Happens a lot, or has happened a lot. Oh, batteries. Got them. Pull up. Okay. There. I thought I saw something flashing. More batteries. Alright, guess we can't get in that building. The manuscript page there. And it's the last nightmare one.
Doc sat down heavily. He examined Barry and Rose. Barry was already recovering. Rose was another story. She was conscious, but she was barely present, almost delirious, disturbed, touched in the head, they used to say. It wasn't the first time Doc had seen someone in such a state, but it had been over 30 years. Doc poured himself a stiff drink. He hadn't forgotten a thing.
Okay. In there. And those things do some damage. They do some serious damage. Uh-oh. Those things pack a punch. Well, I mean, as they should. You get hit by a trailer or a tractor, you're going to feel it. Hold on a minute. What? Safe haven. Right, that's good to know. Keys. Guessing to the safe haven. Another chair.
Anything outside of writing is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomas Zane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape the world of a realm of gods and dreams and demons, dark things that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise. Zane writes about himself, his girlfriend being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawl back upstairs. I'll borrow these things for my story. They ring true. They fit.
Switch to the hunting rifle. Yeah. Is better localized damage. Oh yeah, now we've got to make it through the mines. That's obviously where we're supposed to go.
The kidnapper had sent me a text. The message was full of spelling errors and insults. It was telling me to hurry up.
So we got 9 flare gun rounds now. No new handgun rounds. Okay. Let's stick with the handgun until we feel like we need something else. We might have birds in this if I remember correctly. So I'll need to make that switch quick. Yep.
Birds.
Oh shit. that was always one problem I had with birds, or the way that they implemented them. And I mean, it's the right way to implement them, is that they were allowed to come at you from over the top. Tunnels go to Cauldron Lake. Oh, and this is a silver mine. No wonder they tried to keep it going.
Without warning, the headache stabbed at my brain.
And no wonder they tried to keep it going for as long as possible. Deep mines of silver, it's worth a fortune.
Alice?
Alice?
There's Cauldron Lake.
I gotta get out of here.
But manuscript page first.
The hunters were big, thick-set men, confident and at home in the woods. They were feeling good, running on beer, ghost stories, and camaraderie late into the night. It did them no good, as they were taken by the dark presence, sucked deep into a darkness far worse than any ghost story they ever told or heard.
Okay. Back up. Pretty sure covered all this. Down there. Players. Manuscript page.
Even behind the closed doors and curtains of his grimy room at the Majestic, the local motel, Nightingale could feel the locals' eyes on him, the unrelenting pressure of their judgment. He forced it out of his mind. For all he knew, they could all be under Wake's spell already. You do what you have to do to get the job done. He took comfort from the bottle in his hand. Please, he thought, just let me get through this. Danny had stepped out, but what stumbled back in was something else. Something alien. A monster. Walter tried to kill it, first with his fists, then a chair. It wouldn't die. Instead, it kept coming, unaffected by the beating it had taken. After Walter managed to kick it down the cellar stairs, fear took over. He ran, got behind the wheel, gunned the engine. The booze wouldn't make him forget, but he knew he had to try.
I don't remember that one at all. That I hit the freaking button. I don't think there's another manuscript page, but nope. I didn't remember that. I remember getting attacked there, but I did not remember, one, that there was a
I'd have
big
to
guy
make
with
my
a
way up
sledgehammer.
this mine shaft in order to go on. Maybe the machinery could help me with that.
And I didn't remember there being 4 of them. I thought for some reason that there were 2 initially. And then you had to deal with the guy with the sledgehammer, but yeah, that was definitely not the case. Okay. I think it's up here first. Yeah. Yeah, to get to that. Yep. Go up the ladder. Crap, I still haven't loaded. When I hit reload. Highly recommend you continue to hit jump button. Shit. What's supposed to run to the or jump to the ladder? Or do I get on the ladder the other side? Oh, no. Okay, never mind. I get it. I gotta go use the controls again. Bring it up one step higher, yeah. Actually, no, I think that'll be alright. Yeah, that'll be alright. Before we do anything, let's make sure to read through
The
these.
bulldozer's engine roared to life. Mud and rocks flew as it fought for traction. It crashed through the concrete wall and landed heavily in the yard. If it were an animal, it would have shaken its head after the impact, fixed its eyes on me, and charged. Of course, it had no head, nor eyes. Shadows crawled on its form, twisting it into a monster. Then, it came for me.
Bulldozer is a very, very tough... You might as well call it a boss fight.
Maud had checked all of Stucky's rental cabins. There had been no sign of the Wakes. It was dark when he'd found their car parked at the end of the road by Cauldron Lake. It made no sense. They must have taken a wrong turn, but there was no sign of them, and the car had been there for hours already. Frustrated, Mott stood on the rotten ruin of the footbridge that had once led to Diver's Isle before it sank beneath the waves years ago. The boss wouldn't be happy.
That's it. Nope.
Lightning flashed behind the windows of Cauldron Lake Lodge. Tor Anderson laughed and held the steel hammer above his head. Nurse Sinclair was trying to calm him down without success. Tor grinned madly and shouted, "My hammer's up. Here's a friendly poke from Molnir, wench." He brought the hammer down with all his might on Sinclair's head. "We're on a comeback tour, baby."
Okay. Go down, but before we go down, we go up. Get flares. Much rather had flashbangs, but you know, take what you can get. All the flares do are really just push them back. It doesn't, they don't really, I mean, they do remove some of the shadow, but not a lot. Okay, so here's another one of them. Okay, that's the one I just read. Wow. They really did a phenomenal job of it. I absolutely love what Remedy did. Cannot wait for Alan Wake. From this recording, next Friday, a little over a week away, get this fully recorded and published before then. That out. Just in.
Oh, great. Another cable car. Just great.
Yeah, we don't have very good luck with cable cars, unfortunately. The last one sent us screaming to our death. Almost. All right. That's what I wanted. There's a set of cans up there. That's what I was trying to shoot at. Didn't mean to use the flare gun to do it, though. Nope. Yeah. Shit. I want to go over here so I can get the hands. And I definitely needed batteries. Okay. That's why I sprinted. Revolver, hunting rifle, batteries. Cauldron Lake. The 8th deepest lake in the world, Cauldron Lake is a caldera lake formed in a volcanic crater. The volcano itself could be considered to be active, but it has not erupted since the volcanic earthquakes in 1970. And even then, the underground activity was comparably mild. Despite some property damage, there were no casualties. Cauldron Lake is one of the most beautiful spots in the Bright Falls area, as well as a central figure in many local folk tales. Popular recreational area for the area residents. Give me a view of where I just came from to make sure I didn't miss anything. Doesn't look like I did. So to the bridge. Uh-oh. I don't remember the bridge falling. Oh, shit. I didn't think I was going to pull out of that one. That one just felt wrong right from the very get-go. Right? Okay. Yep, there we go. Okay. Flare gun ammo. Swap the handgun, though, for a bit. Okay, gotta go this way. And we got a manuscript page. Plot at Cauldron Lake. We've already listened to that. The reason we listened to them there at the end of the mine is because I thought we were closer to the end than we were. That way. Oh, yeah. I had forgotten about this building. Alright. Thomas Zane and I miss you, Tom. Talk to me on TV, Tom. Did you write this? I curse you, Thomas Zane. And of course, another chair. For some reason, I thought I remembered that cabinet. Being open. Oh, there we go. I know there's got to be a way to get out of here. Well, shotgun ammo doesn't help me when I've got rifle. Come on. I'm trying to drop the damn flare. I hit the damn dodge button like 14 times and nothing happened. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this. I've been saving it for just this time. And I just wasted it. Give me control. Alright, I think that did it. Want to make sure I wasn't missing a manuscript page. And I found them all on this chapter, or this episode, but still. Trying to be thorough.
I could see Cauldron Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat.
Well, and look at that. That's the lodge where the doctor is doing whatever it is that he does.
I was close now. I had to get there fast. I dreaded what I would find.
Okay, that one, Wake wakes up in the lodge.
I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period. Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now.
Wait! Are you? Wait!
Hey, I'm here! I'm coming!
No! Get away! Sorry. Please, lady. The boss didn't know who he was messing with. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is. She's probably drowned. We just said we had her to make him play ball. You see? To get him writing for us.
That had to sting. Alright, that's the end of the episode. And as I did before, I need to make sure to turn off the sound so that we don't have any DMCA music. But that's the end of episode 3. With that, I am going to wrap up this episode. I hope that you have been enjoying the content as well as I have been. I will pick back up from here in the next episode. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to hit the like button. Please make sure to the subscribe button. And hopefully this catches you up in time for the release of Alan Wake 2. I'll see you next time.